updates from the Stubby Nozzle Co's short nozzle that I'm using with my Ego 650. This thing has been great, and yeah, I can't recommend it enough. It's easy, it's compact, it's short. It allows me to keep this right on the blower, and if I need to go anywhere where I may be washing the car, outside from my home, going to a friend's or something, or going to an event, and I need to dry the car off and I don't want to use a towel for some reason, I can just pop this in the trunk. And it makes for a nice compact fit because, as you can see, I don't have the biggest vehicle in the world to be storing a large tool. So this makes it a lot easier to store this. And eventually I'm going to probably upgrade to the Ego 765. I think it might be slightly shorter here. I can't remember if it is or not, but I hope Ego comes out with another one where they shrink these batteries and make this even more compact with even more flow. Now, I'm just wishing for that, like a 1000 CFM or more blower. That would be really cool. Ego, if you're watching this, just give a thumbs up if you're working on that. So I'm just going to give a couple of updates on why I think this thing is still great and why you should pick one up as well. Let's get that connected and let's dry her off. Kind of have to watch out for that sometime. I don't know. It's done this a couple of times before where the Ego still has some battery life left, but if I'm running it in turbo mode for too long, it will just die like that. So if any of y'all have experienced this, please let me know, and let me know if you found a fix for it, because sometimes this is really annoying. But during this intermission here, a couple things that I noticed while using this shorter nozzle. Now this thing is great because it allows me to get closer to the car. I can manipulate where I want the airflow to go a lot better than if I was using a longer nozzle. With the blower band on the end of it, it gives me that peace of mind that if I do accidentally bump the car, that I won't leave a scratch on the paint. So that helps a lot. Now, a couple things that I did notice while using it, because you are getting closer to it, you are usually bringing this closer to your face, so you get that high-pitched sound from the motor closer to your ear. So I need to get some ear protection because I may go deaf trying to use this thing up close, especially if you have it like this, or if you're getting really up and close into a lot of spots. So you will notice that. So that is one thing that you do want to be aware of if you decide to go with a shorter nozzle and you're getting closer to the vehicle. The other thing is, it will change kind of the way you dry your car if you're used to using the longer nozzle. Because you can actually get closer, you're able to manipulate this using your body more instead of just using this. So it does take the weight off of just using your arm, versus having that longer nozzle, which you kind of want to stand a little further away from the car and don't get so close. But because you're able to bring this closer, granted you are increasing the noise factor to your ear, you're able to rest this against your body, and it makes it a lot easier to maneuver and move around. So the weight of the battery isn't that big of a factor as it has been in the past. So those are a few key points that I will point out when using this nozzle. Now, I have used this nozzle to blow out like my driveway and stuff like that, and it still works great. Now the longer nozzle may be better when you're talking about blowing leaves, just because of the distance of the nozzle, and you're able to get a little bit closer to the ground for that airspeed. But it still works great for me. I haven't had any issues. I primarily use this to drive my vehicle, so it works great for me. Again, just a couple of key things to just be aware of. You're able to get closer to the car and manipulate the blower a lot better. It does increase the noise factor coming to your face, because a lot of times you're pulling this in, so that does increase that decibel range. Not only that, you're able to rest this up against your body a little bit better to relieve some of that fatigue that you get from the battery. So just a few key points from using this nozzle. I still think it's great. I will leave a link in the description below where you can grab this. And yes, I still think it's great for the price. There is another one that is out by Apex Air. It's a little more professional grade because it does allow different attachments. But if you don't need those attachments or don't see yourself using them, this is still a great option, especially for the price. And you know, I may pick up that one as well. I may end up getting another ego blower because, you know, tools and gadgets. But they have the 765 out now, and I hope they come out with something even more powerful. Like, you know, I'm just wishing here, but like 1,000 CFM. Don't know why I would need that. I just want it. So if they ever came out with something like that, or I may bump up to the 765 as well, I may get the Apex Air nozzle and put that on and try that one out also. But yeah, let me get back to drying the car and we'll do a quick recap. All right, so just to recap, you heard my thoughts on why I still love this thing. It's still great. If you haven't tried any of the ego blowers, I'd highly recommend them. They can be had anywhere from, I think, low 200s. And they have various models, anywhere from, I know they have the 530, 580, the 650, and a 765 now. So all of those work with this short nozzle here, and they work great. Again, the caveats are the heavy batteries. Now, while you have this thing, the short nozzle on here, depending on the level, how level the ground is, it will kind of tilt back. You know, it will tilt back like that, but if that doesn't bother you that much, for some people that does bother them. For me, that doesn't bother me that much. So I'm not really annoyed by that at all. So other than that, if you're holding it one-handed, you know, if you have that strength in your arm to do that, which I tend to do a lot, then it works great, but the battery is still a little bit heavy. But with this shorter nozzle here, again, you do have those advantages. One, of getting closer to the vehicle. Two, of having more control and manipulation over the unit itself. Three, while you're getting closer to that vehicle, you reduce the chances of you bumping that nozzle end into your vehicle. Now, with the added blower band, it actually makes it even better. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave me a comment below. If you have any suggestions of a next video or something like that, please let me know, and catch you in the next video.